name is Anne and I'm yet again to unravel Anne's theory. A theory where anything that gets into our body will affect us and will affect us individually. And today we have a very practical video of how to treat acne, how to treat the spots, and get ready for the next video, which will be all about how to prevent it. Let's start with how the spots are created. Now, when we are consuming something we are intolerant towards, our skin structure changes. It will become a little bit more acidic. And that's perfect for bacteria because bacteria loves an acidic environment. What happens is this then. Skin has many tiny little openings we call pores. And pores are useful to breathing through the skin and extracting sweat. It's also the most vulnerable area on the skin. Now the bacteria lives on our skin. I made a little picture here. They live on our skin, and when we eat something we can't tolerate, it becomes more acidic. So the environment in our pores will become habitable for the bacteria. So what they do is that bacteria will move into pore and will create a colony there. Like so. Our bodies though have a really good self-defense mechanism there, and as soon as the bacteria will start living in our pores, there will be heat load up white blood cells that try to get rid of them, and that causes inflammation. What that does is that will create the closure for the spot. The small amount of skin will grow over the spot, so the bacteria will be trapped within a sac and the white blood cells can't really get to it so easily. Just like so. Now, as the bacteria count increases, their colony will get bigger and it will bulge up and a horrible, painful little pimple on our skin. Just like so. It's raised up, it still has got its cap, and the bacteria is trapped within a sac. So this is how the pimple appears. Now, in order to actually treat them, you need to know two things: what to do and what not to do. And we're starting with what not to do first. You have obviously heard that don't squeeze your spots, you make them worse because you damage the skin around them. And that is true. When you squeeze a spot, you do damage the surrounding areas and make them more prone to the bacteria. But what also happens is something far more traumatic. Now, when you squeeze a spot, you will break the cap that's covering the spot, which is how you get the pus out. Just like so. So obviously you have all dead bacteria, dead cells, dead everything, and the live ones coming out onto your tissue wherever you squeeze them, like so. But you will also leave the pore vulnerable because now the pore is open, you can have more bacteria getting into the sac. Added to that, any live bacteria that's in there can actually seep out and make home to the nearest vulnerable pore you have. So what they do is they get out of their pore, go across the skin, into another pore, and the whole process will start all over again. And your fingers or anything you use to squeeze your spots with, they're also covered with bacteria. Obviously you can't see them. You squeeze other spots and then you touch the surrounding areas and you make your own condition worse than it's worth. So, don't touch your spots, don't squeeze them. In fact, don't touch your face. That's the best way forward because then you don't spread any inflammation, any bacteria anywhere. And if you do treat your skin, please make sure that you wash your hands thoroughly beforehand. Now you know all of this, it's time for part number 2 of our video, where I'm going to show you how to treat the spots at home. Right, to treat spots you have 3 options really. Kill the bacteria with heat, kill the bacteria with something strong and powerful, or treat the skin and kill the bacteria that way. To kill the bacteria with heat, you have two options. You have the steam option and the dry heat option. The steam option is the traditional one where you are underneath the blanket with something steaming hot. Make sure you don't burn yourself. But what that will do, that will create a hot steam on your face that will kill the bacteria on the surface. It's good, it works miracles for a lot of people, but for a lot of people it doesn't work for one good reason. When the water gets on your skin, it will start to evaporate, and that process will get the pores to close up, and that is not necessarily a good thing to have. The alternative option, and much better option, is to use a dry heat. You can use whatever you like really, as long as the heat is strong enough to kill the bacteria. But what I have found is that all you need is a little piece of flannel, small face flannel, fold in half, and a very nice hot iron. What you do is you iron it, make sure it's not on steam because you don't want it to get wet. Make sure it's on dry heat, iron it as long as it's really, really hot, but don't burn yourself once again. And then you put the flannel on your face, on the skin, on the spot that you need to treat, like so. And you do ideally about 10-15 minutes ago. If it gets too cool, you reheat it with the iron, and that's as simple as that. This method is especially good for boils that are deep underneath the skin that you otherwise can't get to. And what the heat does, it will bring them up towards the surface and they become more curable. The other method to tackle the issue is to treat the skin with something strong and powerful enough to kill the bacteria. And the best thing for that is plain old distilled vinegar. What you do with this, you pour a little bit on a saucer somewhere or straight onto cotton wool. Yeah, you dab it in and then you pat it on your face like that, where the spots are. What happens is it will kill the bacteria and it will reduce the inflammation, because vinegar is natural anti-inflammatory. The third option is the most favorable option, because you will now treat the skin rather than the bacteria itself. For that method we can use a plain old bicarb of soda. It's a substance in your kitchen that's the most alkaline you can find in your household. And what you do with that is you put some of the bicarb of soda on your dish or somewhere, and then you just take the powder and put it on your face where the spots are. Just like so. It will stay there. And even if it falls off, so be it. What it does is it will neutralize the skin. As I said, when you eating something that you're intolerant towards, your skin becomes more acidic, and what a bicarb of soda does, it makes it more alkaline, and the bacteria cannot survive in alkaline conditions. So in short, you're making your skin inhabitable towards the bacteria, and the new spots won't appear anymore. Right, and that's all you need to know. That is the secret of how to treat spots at home. You don't need anything expensive or dreadful to do to your skin. Try to wash it as little as possible. That's also part of the problem, because if you wash it too often, then you make it more susceptible to bacteria to live on. So maximum 2-3 times a day. You don't need to wash your face any more than that. So the next video will be all about how to cure acne for good, or in short, how to find out what intolerances have. It's so interesting, so please do tune in. Try to subscribe so that you can get weekly email every time I post something on YouTube. You can also check out my website, anstheory.com. There's a lot of information in there. There are a lot of past videos and upcoming videos. So yeah, treating spots at home is easy. Please do try it out at home. It will work, I guarantee. And until then, see you next time. Bye bye.